Right now, you might be sitting in a very quiet room. It might be late at night or early in the morning, and it feels like the whole world has just stopped moving. You are sitting there with your thoughts, and it feels like someone hit a pause button on your life. You probably thought that this plan of yours, the plan where you stayed away and did not call her, was going to be your secret way to win. You thought it was a clever path to take. You spent hours thinking that if you just kept your voice quiet and stayed out of her sight, she would finally start to see how much she really missed having you around. In your mind, you saw her sitting by her window on a rainy day, looking at her phone every few minutes and feeling a deep sadness because your name was not showing up on her screen. You hoped she would feel a big hole in her life and regret letting you go. You wanted her to come back to you as a person who was ready to try again and build something new. But now, the real world is hitting you, and it feels like a very cold wind blowing right against your face. She did not come back like you hoped she would. Instead, you found out that she has already found someone else to spend her time with. Now you are sitting there, feeling a heavy, sinking weight in your stomach. You are starting to wonder if staying quiet was actually a big mistake. You are asking yourself if your silence was the very thing that pushed her right into the arms of another man. But I want to talk to you right now, just person to person and heart to heart. I want to tell you the truth. Your silence did not cause this. Staying away was not the reason she found someone else. What your silence actually did was show you what you were really leaning on to feel like you were okay. It showed you that you were looking for her to tell you that you are a good man. Before we go any further, let us talk about the truth of how you feel. The pain you are feeling right now is a very real thing. It is not just a little thought that pops into your head and goes away. It is a physical feeling that you carry in your body every day. That sharp sting you feel in your heart is not just an idea from a book. It is a real sensation that hurts. The picture you have in your mind of her smiling with another man, laughing at the jokes he tells, and building the exact life you wanted to build with her, that cuts very deep. I know it does because I have felt that same sting before. But the story you are telling yourself about that pain is what is actually hurting you more than the breakup itself. If you do not fix the story in your head, you are going to take this one sad situation and turn it into a whole year of losing your confidence. You will lose your own rules for how you want to be treated. You will lose the sense of who you are as a person, and you will lose the bright future you are supposed to have. If you need someone to remind you of what is true when your mind starts telling you lies, please listen to these words from a group of people who care about you. We do not need you to just be a number on a screen. We want you to have the truth right now, especially when your feelings are trying to make you look like a fool. Here is what it really means when she finds someone new after you have not talked to her for a while. It does not mean he is a better man than you are. It does not mean she never cared about all the good times you spent together. It does not mean that the rule of staying away failed you. And it definitely does not mean that your value as a man has dropped just because she is looking at someone else. The most important thing it means is very simple. Life just kept moving forward. That is all it is. Life kept moving on. She made some choices for herself. You made some choices for yourself. Time passed by one day at a time. Reality just kept doing what reality does every single day of the week. The big problem here is that while the real world was moving forward, you were stuck. You were frozen inside a dream. That dream is the first trap that many of us fall into when we are hurt. You told yourself that staying away was just a little trick to get her to come back. You told yourself that if you just vanished and became a ghost for a long enough time, she would feel a giant hole in her life that only you could fill. You thought she would compare every other guy she met to you and eventually come crawling back because she finally saw things in a clear way. But that is not what it means to heal. That is just gambling with your heart. That is not being a strong man. It is just being someone who needs attention while staying quiet. You were not giving her space because you respected yourself. You were giving her space because you were hoping that the distance would give you the happy ending you were too scared to face. You were letting her choices decide if you could have peace in your heart. When she finds someone else, that whole dream gets ripped into pieces. Suddenly, it feels like everything you did was for nothing. It feels like you lost 2 times. First, you lost the girl you loved so much. Then, you lost the happy ending you had written in your head like a movie script. That second loss is the one that really hurts because you are not just sad about her anymore. You are sad about the story you made up. You are sad because you thought being quiet gave you some kind of secret power over her. You thought that if you were just a good person for long enough, the world would reward your pain by bringing her back to your door. But listen to me. Staying away is not a magic spell. It is not a trick to play on another person. It is not some way to get someone to like you by acting like you are all grown up. Real silence is for you. It is for helping you let go of what is gone. It is for letting your mind and your body get better after all the stress of the breakup. It is for breaking the need you have for her to tell you that you are okay. It is for seeing things clearly without the drug of talking to her every single day. If you only stayed away to get her back, then what you called hard work was actually just being stuck while wearing a fancy suit. That is a hard truth to hear, but truth is like medicine. It might taste bitter and gross when you first swallow it, but it cleans out your whole system. Why does this happen? Why does a woman move on while you are still sitting in the ruins of the relationship, asking deep questions? It is because men and women often handle breakups in different ways. It is not always that way, but it happens quite a lot. Sometimes she started moving on in her heart long before the breakup actually happened in real life. She might have done all her crying while you were still trying to fix the sink or planning a dinner date. Sometimes she just wanted to feel better right now, instead of thinking about all the hard things. Maybe the new guy is not the love of her life. Maybe he is just a bridge she is using to walk across, so she does not have to feel the sadness she is trying to avoid. And sometimes, yes, she just really did choose a different path for her life. But in every situation, the lesson for you is the same. Being miserable for a long time does not make your love more special. Let that sink into your mind. Your suffering does not become more meaningful just because it lasts for months or years. A lot of men secretly think that the more they hurt, the more it proves how much they really loved her. But that is not true. Sometimes it just shows how much you needed her to feel like a real man. It shows that you built your whole world around being picked by her. It shows that you did not know who you were before she came along, and you are totally lost now that she is gone. It shows that you need a woman to help you make sense of your own feelings. That is not a beautiful romance. That is just being unstable. That is why this hurts your pride so much. You are not just saying she found someone else. You are saying, I was replaced. You are saying what you had together was not good enough. You are saying maybe this new guy is everything you are not. But stop for a second. Replaced is the wrong word to use. You replace a broken tool or a part on a car. You replace someone who leaves a job. But a human being with their own personality, their own history, their own special gifts, and their own soul cannot ever be replaced. She might choose someone else. She might like someone else better right this second. She might start a new life with someone else. But your mind is turning her choice into a judgment of how much you are worth as a human being. That is because your self-respect was tied up too tightly in what she thought of you. That is the real wound you are carrying. It is not that she moved on. It is that you left your identity in her hands the whole time. When someone else has your identity in their hands, every single move they make feels like a knife in your side. Her social media posts feel like a knife. Her smile in a photo feels like a knife. Her new boyfriend feels like a knife. Even her silence feels like it is cutting you, because you are still letting her decide if you should feel good or bad today. If she looks happy, you feel like a loser. If she looks confused, you feel a little bit of hope. If she disappears, you start to panic. Why is that? It is because you are still circling her like a little moon circling a big planet. You are still measuring how good you are by how close you are to her. That is called being a slave to someone else's life. You need to understand how much this is costing you. It is costing you your mornings when you wake up and immediately reach for your phone to check on her. It is costing you your focus when you are at work. It is costing you your health and your desire to go out and live life. It is costing you the respect you owe yourself every single day. You spend all your time trying to figure out her life, and you have stopped building your own life. You have stopped trusting yourself. You have stopped standing tall in your own world. All of this happened because one chapter of your life came to an end, and your pride decided that the whole book was over. It is not over, but it will be if you keep bowing down to a memory. And yes, I really mean bowing down. You might call it loyalty or processing the pain, but it is really just worshiping something that does not want you anymore. You are bowing to a memory of a girl who might not even be that same person anymore. The version of her in your head is frozen like an old picture, but the real person kept changing and moving and growing. You are talking to a ghost and acting like that ghost holds your entire future. Let us go even deeper into this. If she found someone new, do not use that relationship to decide if you are a good man. You do not know what their relationship is actually like behind closed doors. You only know what they show on the internet, the highlight reel. You see a picture of them smiling, but you do not see the reality of their daily lives. You see them laughing, but you do not know what it cost them. Maybe it lasts forever, or maybe it ends next week. Maybe it is a healthy relationship, or maybe it is a total mess that just has good lighting. You do not know. When you do not have the facts, your mind will fill in the blanks with ways to hurt yourself. That is what pride does when it is wounded. It writes sad stories using your own feelings as ink. So here is a new way to look at everything. Her moving on is not proof that you lost the game. It is proof that you have to start being honest with yourself. Are you really healing, or were you just waiting for her to come back? Did you really love her, or were you just addicted to the way she made you feel about yourself? Did you have a real life before she came into it? Do you only respect yourself when someone else tells you that you are great? Once you get honest, you can finally be free. Now let us talk about the man who actually gets free. Not the boy who pretends he does not care but checks her page at 1 a.m. Not the guy who posts pictures at the gym just to try and get back at her. I am talking about a real man. A man who does not have to hate her to let her go. He does not have to say mean things about her new boyfriend just to feel good about himself. He does not chase after someone who walked away, and he does not fall apart when life does not go his way. He is solid. That means his feelings are real, but they do not run the show. He feels the pain, but he does not let the pain drive the car. He can miss her without thinking that she was a perfect person. He can hurt without making a fool of himself. He can remember the past without trying to live in it every day. He knows that being in his life is something people have to earn. He knows that being wanted once in a while is not the same as being chosen every single day. He knows that closure is something you decide for yourself. Sometimes you just have to say, I have all the information I need. This did not work. I am letting it go. He has a purpose. He does not just stay busy to hide from his feelings. He builds things because that is who he is. He goes back to his mission, his work, his health, and his friends. He does not do it to make her jealous. He does it because he refuses to let a breakup stop him from living. He has self-respect that shows up when nobody is watching. It is not loud. It does not need people to clap for it. It just acts the right way. He does not beg for little pieces of love like they are crumbs. He does not try to talk someone into loving him. He does not call a messy situation passion. He calls things what they really are. Once you stop making the things that hurt you sound romantic, you can finally let go. Ask yourself a very hard question. If she came back today, but everything was still messy and not consistent, would you really want that? Or do you only want her because another guy made you feel like you lost? Be honest. A lot of men do not miss the girl as much as they miss the feeling of winning. They want to feel like they still matter. But if your healing depends on being picked by the person who hurt you, you are still in a cage. Break the cage. Here is what you need to do right now. First, stop trying to figure out her new relationship. Stop looking at it. Stop being a detective. You are not someone who studies her life. You are a man trying to get his own life back. Every minute you spend thinking about her is a minute you stole from yourself. Stop checking her social media entirely. Not just sometimes, but never. Every time you look, you are just reopening the wound. It is like picking a scab and wondering why it will not heal. It won't heal because you won't leave it alone. Stop talking about her to everyone you meet. There is a big difference between talking about your feelings and just repeating the same sad story over and over again. If every talk you have is about her, you are not getting better. You are just becoming the guy who got left. Do not let that be who you are. Stop letting your feelings get in the way of your work. Get up when you said you would. Work hard. Train your body. Eat good food. Sleep like it is your job to get better. Clean your room. Handle your money. Keep the promises you made to yourself. These things will not fix the sadness right away, but they will help you trust yourself again. Trusting yourself is the only way to find real peace. Start telling the truth in simple words. It ended. She moved on. I am hurt. I do not like it, but I am going to be okay. That sentence is like a weapon. Use it. No drama, just the truth. Start being sad about what was actually real, not the dream you had. Cry about the dinners and the laughs, sure, but do not cry about a future that was never real. You have to separate what actually happened from the stories you tell yourself. Start looking at your own life. Where were you weak? Where did you lose your way? Where did you let her become the whole world instead of just a part of it? These questions are for helping you take responsibility. Blaming other people keeps you feeling small. Taking responsibility makes you grow. Start making your life so big that this breakup is just a small part of it. Talk to good men. Get strong. Work on something that really matters. Fill up your day so you do not have time to sit and worry. Build a life that is so strong that no one person leaving can make it collapse. Remember, you do not have to be mean. You do not have to be cold. You do not have to use people or hate every woman you meet. That is not what strength looks like. The goal is to be clear in your mind, not bitter in your heart. Bitter men are still controlled by what happened to them. Clear men are free. The real power is being calm. It is being able to say, that happened, it was hard, but I am okay. It is being able to see her name and not feel like your world is falling down. It is letting her choose her path without it being a disaster for you. She is not the enemy. Reality is not the enemy. The dream is the enemy. The part of you that wants to change the past is the enemy. Fight that part of yourself. If you fight the right way, the obsession will go away. You will stop asking why and start asking, who do I want to be? You will stop asking, is he better? And start asking, how can I be better? Those are the questions that make a man. This is where self-respect comes from. It is not a fancy word. It is how you act every day. It is deleting the things that hurt you. It is not calling her when you feel lonely. It is not waiting around for her to notice you. It is standing up and living a life that is bigger than what you lost. Yes, there will be some quiet nights when it hurts. You will remember her, and it will feel like acid in your chest. Feel it, but do not let it tell you what to do. A strong man feels the pain, but does not let it win. You say, I am sad, but you do not call her. You say, I am angry, but you go to the gym instead of sending a text. That is what it means to be a man. Sometimes it hurts because she was like a mirror for you. She made you feel good about yourself. Now that the mirror is gone, you are scared there is nothing there. But your job is to know you are worth something even without her. Then, if you find love again, you will be stronger. You will choose people more slowly. You will look for peace and values, not just excitement. This is what you learn from losing. If you do not learn this, you will just do the same thing again. This is about you growing up. So, she found someone else. It is hard, but it is not the end of everything. It is an invitation for you to grow. Build your body, build your mind, build your work, build your life. One day, you will not want her back. You will just want to be the man who never lets himself down again. That is the win. The real loss was never her. It was losing your way. The real recovery is finding your way back to who you are. Accept it, take the hit, and stand up straight. When your mind says she found someone else, you say, and I found myself. When your pride says, I was not good enough, you say, my worth is not up for debate. When you are lonely, you say, I would rather be alone than be in a mess. That is a man coming back to himself. If you still hope she comes back, okay, but do not wait for it. Do not stop growing while you wait. Your life is too important to wait for someone else. You are not here to be picked. You are here to choose who you are. You are not here to win her back. You are here to be a man who does not need her to feel okay. You have your breath, your body, and your future. That is enough to start with. So stand up, wash your face, and get moving. Don't look back. Build something great. Maybe you feel like you are walking through a deep forest right now, and you cannot see the path. You might feel like the darkness is closing in on you, and you want to call out for help. But I want you to realize that you are the one holding the light. You are the one who has the power to keep moving forward. Think about a guy who spends his whole life waiting for the weather to be perfect before he goes for a run. He never gets anything done. But the man who runs in the rain, the man who runs when it is cold and windy, he is the one who becomes strong. This breakup is your cold wind. It is your rainy day. Do not wait for the sun to come out before you start building your life. Start building it right now in the middle of the storm. Because when the sun does finally come out, and it will, you will already be the kind of man who can handle anything that comes his way. You will be a man with a solid foundation. You will look back at this time and you will not feel the sting anymore. You will feel proud. You will be proud of the guy who did not give up. You will be proud of the guy who chose himself when the world chose someone else. That is the ultimate victory. That is the true comeback. When you reach that place, you will realize that the person you were waiting for was actually you. You were waiting for you to stand up. You were waiting for you to lead. You were waiting for you to take back your power. So take it back today. Do not give it away for one more second. Every time you think of her with him, just say to yourself, that is her story now. This is mine. Then go do something that makes your story better. Go lift a weight. Go read a book. Go help a friend who needs it. Go do your work with excellence. Be a man who commands respect by how he lives his life, not by who he is with. This is your life. It is the only one you get. Do not spend it being a background character in her life. Be the hero of your own life. Stand tall, breathe deep, keep your eyes on the road ahead. Do not look in the rearview mirror unless you are checking how far you have come. You have a long way to go, and the road is beautiful if you are willing to see it. There are new people to meet, new things to learn, and a new version of you that is waiting to be born. Do not keep him waiting any longer. The door is wide open. All you have to do is walk through it. Remember, we are right here with you. We know it is hard. We know it hurts. but we also know that you are stronger than you think you are. You have a heart that can heal and a mind that can grow. You have everything you need to turn this around. So do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your future. Do it for the man you are meant to be. This is your moment. This is your time to change. This is the beginning of the rest of your life. Make it count. Wash your face, put on a clean shirt, and start walking toward your future. If you want to stay on this path, stay with us. Keep listening to these words that remind you of the truth. If you are ready to be a man who cannot be broken, you belong here. We will keep giving you the truth every time you need it, because you deserve to be free. You deserve to be strong. You deserve to be the man you always knew you could be. Now go out there and show the world what you are made of. Your story is just beginning, and the best parts are yet to come. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Never ever look back with anything but a smile, knowing that the loss was actually the beginning of your greatest gain. You are a man on a mission now. Let nothing stop you. Keep your head up, your shoulders back, and your heart open to the new life that is waiting for you. This is your life. Take it back right now.